Hey guys, welcome to another Pokemon XY Wi-Fi battle. My opponent this time is Brandon, who is actually a subscriber to my channel. So he's been wanting to battle me for a while now. We finally managed to make a time where both of us can meet up and have this battle. So unfortunately for me, I decided to go for a mono fighting team. I just thought I'd try it out. But looking at his team, I don't know how I'm going to win this one. He's got way too many counters, mainly that Charizard, the Chestnut, which I know can be very bulky at times, and of course the Spiritomb, which is a part Ghost Dark type. So it's a very bad matchup for me, but anyway, let's get started and I'll see how we go. I'm expecting him to lead off with his Steelix, so let's get right into it. So as I said, I predicted him to lead off with his Steelix, and I actually went ahead and went into my Medicham. The reason I did that is because I wanted to get the fake out to break his Sturdy and then go straight for a high jump kick. But as you can see, he is carrying the Rocky Helmet and I get some Life Orb recoil. So I'm going to go ahead and click the high jump kick. He makes a great prediction and switches into his Spiritomb. So I did click the high jump kick. That's not going to do anything. I'm going to go straight through that Ghost and really hurt myself. So I'm predicting a Will-O-Wisp now. So I'm going to switch out and let Machamp take that because he is Guts boosted. So he does go for the Will-O-Wisp and misses, but I'm carrying the Flame Orb anyway, so let's just pretend that hit. That's a free switching for me. I'm going to go ahead and use a knockoff. So he sends in his Chestnut, who resists that, and turns out I knock off his Big Root. So generally when they carry the Big Root, it's a combination with Leech Seed. So I'm expecting a Leech Seed now. I'm going to go ahead and send out my bulky Hitmontop, get the Intimidate off. So as predicted, he does go for the Leech Seed. So that's fine. I do carry Rapid Spin, so I actually want to get Toxic on this Chestnut because Toxic is probably the only way I can counter it. However, he makes another great prediction and sends out his Steelix. I don't think he knew I had Toxic because I've never shown this team in previous battles, so that's a great prediction there. I'm going to go ahead and use Rapid Spin now just so I can break his Sturdy again because he got it back from the Leech Seed recovery. So I Rapid Spin, that gets rid of his Sturdy and he also gets rid of my Leech Seed, which is great. I take some Rocky Helmet damage and he reveals that his Steelix actually carries the Toxic as well, which is fine. I mean, it's not that big of an issue if my Hitmontop is Toxic, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to get some damage off on this Steelix. So I go straight for the Brick Break. And because my Hitmontop is a bulky one with 0 attack investment, it doesn't do too much damage. He manages to get his Stealth Rocks up, which is fine. Being a mono fighting team, it's not really going to affect me too much. So at this point, I'm just going to keep going for a Brick Break just to get him down to enough HP where I can revenge kill him. And at this point, my Hitmontop isn't going to last much longer due to the Rocky Helmet and the Toxic, which is fine. So he revealed to me later, he just kept going for the Stealth Rock, expecting me to Rapid Spin them away, but they're not that much of an entry hazard for a fighting team. So I got Steelix down to about 2 HP, and down goes my Hitmontop. And as I said, he just kept going for the Stealth Rocks. So at this point, I'm going to go send in my Machamp and go straight for the Earthquake so I don't make any physical contact with his Steelix. So 4.5 minutes into the battle and I have finally taken down his first Pokemon. So at this point, he's going to go ahead and send out his biggest threat on the team, which is a Charizard. Now I say it's the biggest threat because I was really hoping it was a Charizard X. Unfortunately for me, it turns out to be a Charizard Y, as you can see now. And he's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. So he's just going to go straight for the Flamethrower. And my Medicham did absolutely nothing in this battle, but that's because he had some great predictions. So at this point I need to send out my big boy. He is a Salt Vested, so he might be able to take a couple Flamethrowers. As you can see now, a Drought boosted Flamethrower with a critical hit takes me down to about 20% HP. I'm going to go straight for an Ice Punch, taking him down to half, and then a priority Mach Punch. So the reason I did that, I had a plan to take down this Charizard. So at this point I know he's in range for a priority Sucker Punch to take him out. So that's what I plan to do. I send out my Toxicroak in the hopes of going for a Sucker Punch. Unfortunately for me, he makes another great prediction and sends out his Spiritomb. So between his Charizard and Spiritomb, they're such a huge threat. So I'm actually going to go ahead and set up a Swords Dance. I know he's going to Will-O-Wisp me, which is fine. So he does connect with the Will-O-Wisp. I'm actually carrying the Lum Berry, which is why I was very comfortable to set up that Swords Dance. So I don't really have much to hit him except for a Poison Jab. I'm going to go ahead and set up another Swords Dance, expecting the Will-O-Wisp. He does land it. I do get burned, but at this point I'm still at +2 attack. So like I said, I only have Poison Jab to hit him. I go ahead and pop off the Poison Jab. Luckily for me, I do get a critical hit and I do manage to get the poison. So that was a big shift in the game right there. He decides to go for a Flash. So I was very surprised. I've never seen a Spiritomb with a Flash before, but I guess it makes sense trying to lower my accuracy. He's going to take some poison damage. I'm going to go ahead and keep going straight for the Poison Jab. So at that range with the +2, I managed to take out one of his bigger threats on the team. So that's his Spiritomb down. So he sends out his Charizard, and he told me later on he decided to go for a Flash because he was expecting a Sucker Punch for his Charizard, and luckily I do manage to land it. So there's his Spiritomb and Charizard. The two biggest threats on his team are completely annihilated, which is great, and Toxicroak is still looking pretty good. So at this point he sends out his Chestnut. So I was expecting a Spiky Shield, but I over predicted and went straight for a Swords Dance. So he's going to go straight for the Leech Seed. So if I had gone for the Poison Jab, I probably would have taken it out, or close to taking it out. However, I did over predict, which is very unfortunate. He's actually going to go for the Spiky Shields this turn. I already knew that. I went for another Swords Dance because at this point there's absolutely nothing I can do to touch him. So he's going to get some more Leech Seed recovery, and I'm going to die to the burn on the next turn. So that's fine. Toxicroak took out his Spiritomb and Charizard, so I'm very happy with that. At this point, I'm going to send out my Heracross, who is my Mega on this team. So I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. And the only move I can really hit him is a Pin Missile, and thanks to Mega Heracross's ability Skill Link, it always hits 5 times. And as you can see, it's actually doing very respectable damage for a neutral hit. So after the 5 hit, it does take him down to about 45%, which was very surprising. So here we go, here comes the Leech Seed again, and the next turn I'm expecting the Spiky Shield just so he can get some more recovery. So at this point I'm actually going to switch out my Heracross because I don't want his Chestnut to get recovery from the Spiky Shield. And I'm going to go ahead and send out my Machamp. So as predicted, he does go for the spiky shield. The sunlight fades. So at this point, I'm actually going to go for a guts boosted facade. And from a adamant Machamp that actually takes out his bulky invested Chestnut. So I was very surprised he did. So that's his Chestnut down. He's going to go for his Lantern now. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. And of course, again, because of the Guts boost, I do manage to take out his Lantern as well. So he sends out his a Moldo now. So I go straight for a low kick. He manages to survive on 2 HP and he pops off the Rock Polish. So I asked him why he went for the Rock Polish, and he said to me because he wanted to outspeed my Mega Heracross on the next turn, which is actually a very smart move on his behalf. So he takes out my Machamp, I send out my Heracross, and because of that Rock Polish, he is able to outspeed me now. And he's going to go straight for the Rock Slide, hoping for the flinch. He lands a critical, luckily doesn't get the flinch, and I'm able to finish him off with a Arm Thrust. So that was the battle, guys. Probably one of the most exciting battles I've had in a very long time. So Brandon, if you're watching this video, mate, thank you so much for the battle. I have to admit, I absolutely underestimated your ability as a battler. Even though I was at a disadvantage being a mono fighting type, you made some great predictions, mate. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next upload.